Hi and welcome to my soul tribe. My name is Miriam Rose. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, set your bell on all, like, comment and share, as I really appreciate all of your support. Now let's get on with the video. Dearest ones, welcome to our message. The underlying reality of oneness automatically prompts most individuals to try and make things better, to change the bad pictures into good ones. This does not mean that you who understand about three-dimensional illusion should walk by on the other side, but means that you must be aware of the universal pull to align with appearances. It will help you stay centered if you give less or no attention to today's constant bombardment from the media and refrain from engaging in polarized political or religious discussions. The reason there is so many evolved souls on Earth now is that the time has come for Earth to evolve beyond the extreme density it has been in for too long. The presence of high resonating energy was needed to break through and dissolve the density of Earth's collective consciousness. You who are presently living in the mystical life are those who chose to be on Earth, where your evolved state of consciousness would automatically add increasingly more of these higher energies. An evolved consciousness in alignment with truth is capable of witnessing and experiencing third-dimensional issues without adding sustaining energy to them. A state of consciousness that knows there is only one and that anything other than that one is an expression of duality, separation, and two powers in a powerful source for change, because one with God is in majority. You who live from a consciousness of truth are light warriors, even if you think you're doing nothing. A state of consciousness, once attained, can never regress back to its previous state and will override the many forms of three-dimensional hypnotism simply because it is the reality. Many have tried to go back to a previous time when things seemed easier, but always present in the midst of their activities was consciousness saying hello. An example, most of you have had opportunities to steal and perhaps even considered it at times, but you never followed through because honesty, which is a facet of oneness, was your state of consciousness. Some spiritually evolved individuals find it easy to love others but are unable to love themselves. Often, when words said or actions taken in the past are seen through more evolved eyes, it brings about shame, guilt, self-loathing, and the belief that they are unworthy of love or even of doing spiritual work. Because of the density and pressure of living in a third-dimensional world, most require a few years to consciously awaken into their attained state of consciousness. During these fragile, earlier years, most become hypnotized by the concepts and beliefs they were taught by parents and society, leading them to do and say the very things now causing them guilt and shame. Self-loathing is present in almost everyone and underlies the prescription and street drug epidemic, violence, lashing out at others, as well as depression, etc. The bottom line of third-dimensional energy is you will never be good enough, because the state of consciousness of the majority remains three-dimensional. Most simply accept this to be the truth about themselves. If you experience self-loathing, hatred, or guilt when looking back at earlier times in your life, remember that the personal human ego sense of self is a material concept of you. The person you ignorantly believed yourself to be in the past and even now is not the reality. Waking up to this fact is what evolution is all about. Many know this, but fall into the ego trap of needing a sense of punishment for past actions, and so continue to think of themselves as less than. Forgive the self of the past that made less than loving choices, just as you forgive others. Make amends when appropriate, and begin to identify with your real self rather than a false concept of you. Often, an incoming soul will choose to be born into a family with that can activate the energy they have chosen to clear. Some believe that they have carried from lifetime to lifetime and are now prepared to move on from. The process often takes years because the particular energy must first be activated, lived, seen through, finally cleared. For example, a person may choose to incarnate into a family fully engaged in the strict religious beliefs of some particular religion in order to reactivate the same long carried energy in themselves. This is particularly true for many who have lived many lives and taken vows in convents, monasteries, monasteries, ashrams, or rigid organized religions. In meditation, simply rest in a silent awareness of oneness. No need for petitions, imaginings of this and that, or constantly repeating mantras. These things are tools for those not yet used for sitting quietly. Meditation may begin with the contemplation of some truth or asking for more light, but eventually should move into resting in the awareness of being the fullness of divine consciousness. Gradually, the deeper insights that come in meditation become your state of consciousness, where they then manifest outwardly. Serious students of truth struggle intensely to attain a high state of consciousness. They practice what they know, meditate seriously, attempt to stay centered in truth at all times, and yet continue to have experiences that cause them to redouble their efforts in the belief that they must be doing something wrong. It is important to understand that the transition from one state of consciousness to a higher comes by grace and not through human effort. Grace is the activity of the divine within, and when a person is spiritually ready for their next step, it happens. There may be lessons to learn, experiences to have, and clearings to take place before even the very evolved are ready for their next step. Cease struggling to attain some preconceived concept about ascension or a particular state of consciousness, because to do so simply illustrates that you believe you are separate from that which you seek. Miracles of transformation do occasionally happen where a person suddenly and without seeming effort shifts into a new and higher state of consciousness. This occasionally happens when the higher state of consciousness has already been attained, but the person is totally unaware of it, and when they finally open themselves to truth, the door swings open with a bang. All seeking, begging, and praying for things simply adds energy to beliefs of separation that originally created and continue to perpetuate the world's bondage to lack, limitation, suffering, pain, and even passing. Learn to go within, where everything needed is already fully present, because my oneness with God constitutes my oneness with all that God is. We are the Arcturian group. Thank you so much for listening to this channeling. I really hope you enjoyed it. With absolute gratitude, love and light, cosmic kisses to everyone. Till next time, bye for now.